Hello everyone, welcome to a new chess video. The other day, while I was browsing the internet, I found a new, totally spectacular opening trap that lets us win in only 8 moves. It's with the white pieces and it's when we play e4. This trap has fascinated me, mainly because why? Because it's played against the Sicilian defense. And we already know that the Sicilian defense is one of the best defenses in the world, very difficult to break down. So with this trap, we'll manage to win in just 8 moves. So I've already done all the dirty work to find and study this trap well to show it to you. So the only thing you have to do is leave me a nice like, and that way we're all happy. Alright, chess teacher, how should I play this trap when they play the Sicilian defense against me? Well, you're gonna follow up with the most natural move in the world, knight f3. Okay? All of this is normal. Notice that we'd be in the standard Sicilian, d6, and then d4 would come. Ah, chess teacher, but is this a trap or is it the Sicilian that everyone knows? Well, up to here, it's the Sicilian that everyone knows. From here on is where it's gonna change. You'll see, the best move, without a doubt here, is to take. In case anyone doesn't know, okay? The idea of the Sicilian, the primary one, is to play c5 to, with a side pawn, manage to exchange a central pawn. That's why after the theoretical moves, when white plays d4, black wants to capture this pawn on d4, okay? This is theoretical. The thing is that here, theory tells us that we should take with the knight. And what are we gonna do? Take with the queen? A rather strange move, which is already starting to deviate from theory. Why is this move strange and not usually played? And the theory is knight takes. Because this move exists, knight takes c6, which directly attacks our queen and makes us lose a tempo. It's true, some people have played this, and with success, but here the theoretical move bishop b5 is played, pinning this knight, because that way the queen can no longer be captured. However, look at this spectacular trap, where we're not going to do that, but instead what we're going to do is move our queen away to the a5 square, okay? Super important to remember this, right? When they attack the queen with the knight, we'll place it on a 5. It's going to be a key point. All right, here. What's the most logical move in the world? I'm sure you're all thinking the same one. We're pinning this knight. There's a move which is bishop d7 that seems to bother us a lot. Why? First, it's no longer in the pen. Second, it's threatening discovered attacks. If he moves this knight, then now he would capture our queen, or rather, he would attack the queen. And pay attention because this trap is so good and so funny and so spectacular that at the very beginning we make 3 consecutive queen moves. Chess teacher, let's see, a question? All my life, you and all the chess teachers have told me not to move the same piece several times. So how can it be? Just look at this. Capture this pawn with the queen, 1, they attack it, 2, and now when they play bishop to d7, 3, and we come here. A strange move. It takes the square away from the bishop, moves the queen again, still in the same pin from the other bishop. Chess teacher, are you going crazy? Yes, I'm going crazy, but you'll see that this trap is totally impressive, and very importantly, it works, which is the most important thing. I've been testing it and it works. Here, what is the best move for the black pieces and the most used one? Well, obviously, to unpin, how do you say this? A discovered attack. I don't even know how to speak. Forgive me, okay? The discovered attack, knight to d4. Look at what a strong move. 1, they attack our queen. We have to move it because they attack it with the bishop and the knight. 2, they threaten to trade here and double the pawns. And 3, they threaten to take here and win our rook. Check, and he would take our rook. Therefore, we'd have a triple attack, right? That we wouldn't know how to stop. For example, if we took here, it would be a very bad move. Why? Because they would take here, check, and then they would take our rook since we already have this rook well defended. So how should we react, chess teacher, if they make this move? Are we already lost? Well, look at the wonderful move here. We're already totally winning, okay? They can't do anything. We're totally winning. With what move? Knight takes knight, and we let them take our queen. Chess teacher, you really are going crazy. Well, look, if he takes the queen, we simply come with the other bishop, and now we give check. Check, and this king cannot escape. He can't go this way nor that way. What do they have to do? Give us their queen. Conclusion, when we take the queen, just notice that they have to recapture, obviously. Otherwise, even better for us, right? And when they recapture, we're left with 1, 2, and 3 pieces in exchange for 2. We have a clean extra piece, a clean extra knight. And this is just the beginning, because what's coming next is much, much better. Everything is great if, upon coming here, they play this mistake that looks like a brutal move for the black pieces. Remember, it's a mistake. Why? What should we do? Capture this knight with the knight, okay? But alright, chess teacher, everything is great if they do this, but if they play a normal move to defend this pawn, which is what we're attacking, like for example queen to 7, which I'm sure you've all thought of, what should we do? Well, here we're going to perform the windmill attack. You're going to be amazed, it's spectacular. Queen to c7, knight to c3, we developed a knight. Very well, what are we going to do here? Well, see, the black pieces have to think about one thing. Now, this queen is here attacking this point. She can move to the other side. She's a bit dangerous, right? And the most normal thing is, what do? A 6, right? Since this queen can't do anything, they play a6. And this is a mistake. It's a serious mistake that you must know how to punish. You must know how to punish it with the windmill attack. Knight to d5, and we have won the game. Spectacular. You attack my queen, I attack yours too. Obviously, it cannot be captured, right? Why? Because we would capture theirs, and not only that, but check, and we would take the rook. That is exactly why this queen cannot be captured. Alright, if the queen is not captured after a knight to d5, what should the black pieces do? Well then, if we are attacking the queen and we are attacking this pawn, they have several options. They have to move the queen back and protect this pawn. One would be here and another would be here. But it doesn't matter to us at all where they go. Why? Because here we are going to infiltrate the queen through these dark squares. And notice that we are threatening to jump with the knight and give check and take the rook. But here it doesn't matter what they do to us because they cannot defend against this, right? And so what we will do is, whatever they do, the windmill attack, which is, for example, knight to f6 check, right? They have to move the king, the only niv. Very well. And then we capture with a check. They have to move the king. Jack. And they have to move the king. And we keep taking everything. Jack. And they have to move the king. Jack. And they have to move the king. See? And here you can just keep taking everything. Here you cannot take anything else. But for example, you can give a check. They have to move the king. We capture this knight right here. Check. Now they do not have to move the king, but they have to capture here. And so we have ended up with an extra rook. And surely, if they move the rook away, well, we would be up material and we could keep capturing whatever we wanted. And when we get tired of it, we develop our bishop pair, and we're much better off than our opponent. The windmill attack is spectacular, but it is not everything. Very well, chess teacher. So remember, if they play queen to c7, I'm going to play knight to c3. And you told me, chess teacher, if they play a 6, we're going to hit them with the windmill attack. Ew. But of course, we're back to the usual. What happens if they don't play a 6? Because a 6 is very nice. I hit him with the attack and that's it. Well then, let's keep moving forward, right? Notice they've moved queen to c7 to give the king some air. What does it mean to give the king some air? This is very important in case you don't know. The king here can't move. He has no air. By moving the queen away, he could now move. You're going to see why it's so important, because now it seems that knight to d4 is possible again. Why? Well, for the same reason as before, but now we couldn't come and give check and have them cover with the queen because the king could move away. So now this move looks absolutely spectacular. Chess teacher, please tell me there is some way to punish it. Well, of course, since you've left me a nice like and I'm very happy with you all, I'm going to show you how to punish it right away because it's very, very simple. You're the best chess community in the entire world, huh? As I always say, we're not many, we're few, but we get along very, very well. I give you these videos and you give me a nice like and a nice comment. It is punished in the exact same way. Knight takes d5, giving away the queen once again. Chess teacher, today you really are going completely crazy. Why? Because now, by capturing this queen here, once I capture with the bishop, I've given away the queen and they're not forced to give me theirs, right? They can move with the king. And now what? Well, you're absolutely right. I have to agree with you. He doesn't have to give up the queen here. But it's true that we have a very, very strong attack with our minor pieces. What are the minor pieces? The knights and the bishops. Look, knight to d5. We attack the queen, a queen that's hard to move because this bishop is covering this knight too, this knight too. So she's in a dangerous situation, right? If we look at the database and look at Stockfish, what does it tell us? That this is an even position. And what does that mean? If we're in an even position, but we're down a queen, well, it means our position is much easier to attack and almost impossible for a human to defend. This means that only Stockfish would be able to defend against this massive attack. Let me explain. For example, natural moves, right? For the crone, where can she go when we play around here? She could come to a 5 to give us a check, and that would already be a serious mistake, because after bishop to d2, this queen would be totally trapped. As you can see, thanks to the minor pieces, our 4 minor pieces make sure the queen can't go anywhere. So look at this. Knight to d4, queen to a5 check is a mistake because of bishop to d2. Fine, but they're not forced to go for queen to a5 check. They have other squares. For example, what if they come here? Look, oops, sorry, where are you going, crazy? Notice they can't go here. They can't go here. They can't go here. We've seen that here is a mistake. What if they come here? We're punishing all the options. If they come here, the good move is bishop to e3, and I guess you all see the logic, right? What's the logic? Placing this queen with the bishop in x-ray to put her in a spectacular pin and be able to make a discovered attack with the knight. If it were our turn again, we'd play, for example, knight to e6 check, check with the knight. They'd have to capture here, and then we'd capture the queen. And here, notice she has no other square because she can't capture here, or here, or here, or here, or here. She could only come here and she'd be losing a tempo because she lets us develop this bishop. So before I waste any more of your time, I'll explain directly what happens if they go back here. If they do c5 first, then bishop here, and then come here, it's exactly the same, but they've lost a tempo. Okay, they've lost a tempo. Why? Because we've developed the bishop. This would be the best solution, going backwards. Even so, it doesn't mean we're going to lose. We have a super strong way of. So look, this is very easy to memorize because the answer is the same. Bishop to d2. The same as before. You remember, right? If they came with the queen here, bishop to d2. If they come with the queen here, first bishop here, and when they go back, bishop to d2. Very well. And then what if they come directly here? Bishop to d2 as well. And what are we threatening with this bishop? Well, it's very easy, right? I'm sure you're all seeing it. Coming over here and with the 2 swordsmen, checkmating the king in the very near future. So what could be a logical move here? I'm sure you'll agree that if we play bishop to d2, most people will think, well, I'll play g6 and stop your bishop from coming here. Well, I'm going to show you how to punish them whether they play g6 or not, because I want you to have all the options covered. Why? Because when you head into battle, you'll be able to respond correctly no matter what they do, right? All right, what happens if they play this one? How should we continue? Well, here, we have a very interesting solution. Notice, they've left us. Every pawn move creates a weakness, okay? My teacher always used to tell me that. When they advance this pawn, look at this weakness we can exploit with the knight. Check. And what are we doing with this check? Forcing our opponent to move their king. And not just that, because it can't go here, because of the knight. So it has to move onto the same diagonal as the bishop, either here or here. What would we do? Take advantage of the discovered attack again, for example, by taking here, and we take the queen on the next move. Therefore, we'd win back the queen and be up material. We'd be completely winning. Alright, that's all well and good, chess teacher. But what if they don't play g6 when I play bishop to d2? Of course, because they've seen that g6 is a very bad move due to the knight jump, and they play something else, like knight to f6. What should I do? Well, logically, if they don't stop the threat, we'll go ahead and carry it out. And now they only have 2 options because the king can't move. You see it, right? One is to give us the queen. If they give it to us, perfect. And if they don't, they have g6, which seems much better. How should we continue? Well, obviously, we must sacrifice our knight. I'm sure you've seen this move. Knight takes g6, a double exclamation mark move. We attack the queen, we attack the rook. So if they don't capture this knight, they're going to lose material. And it would also be a discovered check. What they have to do is capture here. They have no other choice. See? No, they have no other choice. And then bishop takes pawn, check. And what's happening? That this king cannot escape. Notice they've played the most correct move in the position, pulling the queen back. Even so, look how hard it is to defend, right? Now, since they can't move the king, they have to sacrifice the queen again. Very simple. We capture it, and then they capture ours. It's true. They played correctly for the position because we won the queen, but they just won ours back a moment ago, right? So we have two pieces against two pieces, two rooks against two rooks, but we do have two extra pawns that will be very easy to promote. Notice they've played correctly. However, we can castle, bring the rooks to the center. We have two extra pawns. The position is still much better for us. And now, before I explain the best part of the video, which is the final trick, the crown jewel of the video for me, I have to explain a detail you can't miss. Why? Because if here, when we're attacking with, they've played queen c7, we play knight c3, they don't play a6, right? Instead, they play another move, a discovery, right? A discovered attack with this knight. We've seen that this loses to knight takes knight, but what happens if they play it here? Of course, chess teacher, here we might have more problems. Does the sacrifice? Well, more, yes, the queen sacrifice, knight takes knight, work? Well, yes, it works, and it's epic. Watch closely, knight takes knight. I'll just go through it quickly because it's very easy to understand. Why? Because now, when they capture our queen, it's true that when we capture the bishop, this king can move. If they give us the queen, wow, that's great. We capture it and that's it. But they can move the king, right? And when they move the king, we enter from the other side. Look, check here, and when the king moves, we're gonna capture the rook. And even though we don't have a queen and they do, we have a material advantage, and besides, our pieces are much better placed. And this knight, furthermore, will be able to get back out. They won't be able to capture it. So this is a very favorable position for us. It's too complicated, even if our opponent has the queen, to win this game with black, because if you start counting, I don't want to waste your time in the video. You can do it later. Otherwise, I'll just tell you. We have a material advantage. And now, for sure, we move on to the crown jewel of the video. So everything I've explained to you is how to win with this trap. But now, look, we saw that against a 6, we used the windmill attack. If they came with the knight, we used the queen sacrifice. If they came with the knight, we used the queen sacrifice. But now, chess teacher, you who've been testing it, now tell me what they play against you most in real games. And now, in this final part of the video, I'll quickly explain how to win if they play what they've done to me, okay? Real game. Everything's very nice, the theory, right? But really, what do they play against you? Well, what they played most against me here was knight f6. Not a 6, which they've played, nor this one, nor this one. They've played all three, but the one they've played most is knight f6. And so what do? Well, here I set a spectacular trap that I love. I play with their psychology. I say, I'm quite afraid they'll start attacking my queen with a 6 and b5. And so, what do? I make it look like I'm withdrawing it. I withdraw it a little bit, and then most, I'm telling you the truth, want to carry out this attack to bother the queen even more, right? Does the queen bother you? Well, come on, I'm coming to attack you, and then what I do is jump with the knight. Now you're going to see the importance of this queen here. Why? Because I'm threatening to capture here and double their pawns, something nobody wants, because I'm threatening the queen and doubling pawns. So they don't want to move the queen because otherwise it would open up the king. And what do? They capture here and they're already totally lost because simply after pawn takes pawn, this knight is pinned. They don't realize that the queen is defenseless back here. So we attack the knight and this knight cannot move. Notice one thing, if they try to kick out our queen, which is what they always do to me, simply, super important, there's only one move that wins, which is to stay on the same file as the opponent's queen. Now, he can't move the knight because we'd win the queen, whatever he does. What will we do? Well, simply capture the knight and play with an extra piece. Well, this fabulous trap that I loved, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, if you knew it or not, because I had no idea. I loved it. Please, please, leave me a like. I work hard on a daily video every day for you guys, huh? You just have to watch it and enjoy it, so leave me a like. And now, friends, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.